How from Audible Genesis. How Christian media pros balance work, faith, and family. How is a joint effort of Audible Genesis and B&K Productions. Our theme music is from the Audible Genesis Now library, and yours can be too. Get it at now.audiblegenesis.com. Now on How, meet...
I'm Billy Peterson. I'm the production director, Q99.7 in Springfield, Massachusetts. And I'm also on the air on the Q99.7 morning show and from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
How do you make it all work?
I don't. I've had the wrong weather playing, dead air talking with the microphone off. A lot more than I'd like to admit, too. And anyone who says they haven't been there is just not telling you the truth.
Now, How? From Audible Genesis, your hosts from B&K Productions, Brian Doc Irwin and Graham McKay.
You balance faith, family, work, and the Philadelphia sports fandom while living in New England. Talk about trials and tribulations. What's your secret to pulling it off and, staying safe?
I'm going to paint a quick picture for you. I was once walking away from the TD Garden in Boston after a Bruins-Flyers hockey game. I was wearing my Flyers hoodie and they probably had lost right at the end of the game, as they always do when I go see them. And someone had put a lit cigarette in my hood. Now, thankfully, my cousin was there, noticed it, grabbed it right away before anything bad happened. So, staying safe, I've learned to just stop wearing the jerseys outside of the house.
And you have a new career as a first-time dad. Tell us about the Joyful Bundle and how you've incorporated all of that into what you already had going on.
He demands a lot of time. Having a newborn will really reveal a lot about you. I had some selfish tendencies revealed in his first couple weeks of life, so I've had to let some stuff go and just really learn how to be on all the time. Because he needs me, my wife needs me, I need to be on at work, so when I do lay my head down for rest, as short as that is some nights, it is a beautiful thing.
What software or apps or whatever else do you use in your day-to-day that you find useful, but others maybe don't know about?
This might sound judgmental. I promise I'm not trying to judge anyone, but I just feel like I've always said you can learn a lot about someone just by seeing the apps they have on their phone. I'm not a huge app guy. I don't have a ton downloaded on there, but a couple ones that have really been helpful for me if you got a family or even if you just take a lot of pictures. Family Album is a great way to share pictures. You don't have to even save them all on your phone. You can upload them to the Family Album app and save storage on your phone. Share them with your family. That's been awesome. Of course, DoorDash has been huge in the first month of my son's life. And MyFitnessPal for tracking foods is one I'm often on. And a couple of great ones for work. Slack for team communication and Asana for project management.
What about technology and Christian media? Podcasts, radio, YouTube? Where are we heading? Where will followers and new believers find what they want and need to hear and see in the future?
Wow, great question. Do I even dare tackle this one with the way that media and technology is changing all the time? I would say YouTube is going to be a great place. I've talked to a lot of people who are in that digital world, and they say YouTube is huge. If you got to invest in one thing, it's YouTube. And a lot of stations, mine included, very small staff in Christian radio. So, I'm a big believer in you got to do what you do well if you're going to do it. Okay, so let's make sure the product on the radio and streaming is awesome, top notch. And then pick a lane. If you got staff to go into the digital world, pick a lane. And for me, I would say if I was running a station, YouTube would be that avenue because it seems like that is the one that is growing the fastest right now.
Okay, left turn, new dad. What's worse, producing an extra long promo or changing an extra, diaper?
Give me the diaper changes all day. I am locked into that. I will change a diaper. My diaper changing time is getting quicker and quicker by the day. I've really just dialed into that because you know what? I can't do the feeding and all that. So what can I do? Well, I can change diapers. And at work with those extra long promos, I am always trying to cut those scripts down, and the underwriting scripts, I always work with our underwriter on that. So that'll get me scratching my head sometimes. But those diaper changes, yeah, I'm right there.
Okay, thank you very much, Grandma Kay and Billy. Stay right there because we're going to come right back with more of How right after this.
Audible Genesis, imaging libraries for Christian radio and focused production music for every Christian media platform. If you're in Christian podcasting, YouTubing, concert promotion, church production, streaming, or Christian broadcasting, Audible Genesis puts affordable tools at your fingertips, making your job easier and your production smoother. In fact, Audible Genesis production elements are heard throughout this podcast. Get them for yourself at audiblegenesis.com.
Good news with Grandma Kay.
There's good news on the strive to cure people with life-threatening peanut allergies. Australian researchers successfully put 74% of the 62 kids enrolled in a study into clinical remission for their peanut allergy. Researchers studied not only which gene causes the immune response, but also how that gene interacts with other genes. The study used probiotics and an oral immunotherapy developed by a biotech company, then slowly introduced peanuts, a method called desensitization. The desensitization appeared to work for 4% of the control group receiving the placebo, but those effects may not be permanent. However, 74% of the group receiving the peanut immunotherapy had a permanent change in the way the genes communicated with one another and shut down the dangerous immune response they previously had to peanuts.
This has been Good News with Grandma Kay. At B&K Productions, our job is to provide quality, top-notch, and professional voiceover for your project. It could be narration for a YouTube video, an open and close for a podcast, podcast imaging, imaging for radio, and so much more. Plus, we provide hope to a lost world with Good News with Grandma Kay. You can also utilize a great production library from now.audiblegenesis.com. We also offer radio imaging that is the best in the industry. For more information about what B&K Productions can do for your audio or video project, you can contact Brian Irwin.bnkproductions@gmail.com. And that is Brian, Brian, Irwin, ERWIN, all one word, .bnkproductions@gmail.com. B&K Productions, where quality is our number one priority.
How from Audible Genesis and B&K Productions.
The funniest, best, most profound, or impactful church sign you've ever seen.
This is going to blow your minds. The most impactful church sign. I was driving down the road, New Ludlow Road, one weekday, and the sign says, get this, you're invited to Life Point Church, Sundays 8:30, 10, and 11:30. I know, it's probably not the answer you were expecting, but sometimes these signs just too creative. I mean, they're funny, but I don't know when to go visit after driving by and having a nice chuckle. So I'm a big fan of just keeping things simple. Give me the information I need.
Your Christian media dream job. Even if you aren't qualified, pretend that you are. What's your Christian media dream job?
I mean, can I say the one I have now? I'm so thrilled to be able to be doing what I'm doing here in Springfield. We got a great thing going, and I'm very content here. But, I mean, I've always dreamed of just planting local Christian radio stations across New England. You know, maybe it's working from home and, you know, the mountains of New Hampshire, traveling across New England to plant local Christian radio stations, because we've seen just some amazing things happen. We've seen firsthand here in Springfield the power of local Christian radio and being dialed in. I mean, we're an LPFM, so we are extremely local, and God's done really great things through that. So I think that'd be my dream job, just going and finding certain areas of New England that are underserved, that could really just benefit from having a local Christian station, and planting one right there.
Podcasts are huge. Everybody has one or two. Which podcast do you use for your faith, for your work, for entertainment, parenting, or just life in general?
I gotta tell you, podcasts for me are like reading a book. You know how you read a book, you get through the first 3, 4, 5 chapters, you get about halfway through, and then you start another book. That's me for podcasts. I've tried so many, and there's so many good ones out there. Oftentimes I just find, I just don't have time. Believe it or not, I don't always listen when I'm mowing the lawn or driving in the car. But I do have one that I will check out weekly. Often it's called Ask Pastor John. That would be, for faith. And like I said, I've tried other ones I've liked, but my wife says I am an old man at heart. So I don't get into all the techie digital stuff as much as some others my age.
Now, the controversial question. Pineapple on pizza. Acceptable or blasphemous, and why?
I had a feeling we'd get here at some point. I mean, what conversation doesn't get to this topic at one point or another? But I have a theory for you. Hear me out. Anything good tastes good on anything that is good. Pineapple, in my opinion, that's good. Pizza's good. Therefore, yeah, totally acceptable to me.
Your pithy piece of advice to anyone balancing work, faith, family, extra long promos, and extra, diapers.
A life of faith, family, all work stuff, the diapers, of course. I've said this, and this is not originally from me, but, if the grass looks greener on the other side, just water the grass you're standing on. Don't take yourself too seriously. Lead a quiet and content life. Create boundaries so you can focus on what really matters. Like making sure your son isn't sitting in a dirty diaper for too long while you watch the Eagles lose on Monday Night Football again.
We would like to thank Billy Peterson for joining us. Billy is on air and production director at the Q99.7 in Springfield, Massachusetts. Now, Doc, tell us about next time.
Thank you so much, honey. All right, next time here on the How podcast, we'll hear from a good friend of mine, Matthew March. He will talk about how he does two jobs, and yet he has that delicate balance of faith and family and making it all work. Thank you for listening, and until next time, keep smiling.
How from Audible Genesis and B&K Productions. How Christian media pros balance work, faith, and family. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. And get production music for your podcast, stream, YouTube channel, church, or radio station at now.audiblegenesis.com. How is a joint effort of Audible Genesis and B&K Productions. For more information, email brianerwin.bnkproductions@gmail.com. How from Audible Genesis.